My name is Todd McGrain, and I'm the sculptor of the Lost Bird Project. I've always loved birds and been a bird watcher. 10 years ago or so, I came across a book by an author named Chris Kokinos entitled Hope is the Thing with Feathers, and it was his personal story about learning about and dealing with North American extinction of bird species. And I was so moved by the book, partly because I'd never heard of some of these birds. And the last sighting of the Labrador duck, which is one of the sculptures behind us, was very close to where I grew up. And I felt that was something I could correct by making a monument memorial to that bird. So my first sculpture was a monument to the Labrador duck, and I placed it at the site where the bird was last seen in the wild. I'm an artist in resident at the Cornell Lab of Ornithology, which gives me access to their collection, which is vast and incredible. And all of these birds are represented there, except for the great auk. For that bird, I had to travel to Toronto and Rome and a few other places to study specimens. But even the specimen samples are study skins, so they're lifeless. And I had to try to come up with poses and bring some life to the sculptures. And for that, I studied species similar, so other parrots, other penguin-like birds, and tried to get gestures that I felt told something of the life of these birds and also gave them a kind of physical sympathy to ourselves, gestures that we could relate to at a physical level. And that's also why they're as big as they are. They have a kind of human presence, I think, so we're reminded of them in a kind of intimate physical way. Everywhere I've traveled where the birds were last seen or where they were a predominant species, if you look hard, you can sort of see that the niche is missing. Certainly the Carolina parakeet around here would have been, a spectacular piece of this natural history, and it would have helped take care of burrs. But I think we would be able to manage that if we still had the birds here now, and we'd be a richer environment. I tried to make them attractive, beautiful. I tried to make them have surfaces that we were drawn to touch, kind of soft and forms full of life. But at the same time, I wanted them to be kind of pared down the way, the way a beautiful beach stone, when you pick it up and hold it in your hand, touching that beach stone, you can feel the time that wore it smooth, and it's a nice thing to hold. And so that connection between touch and the past and memory, I think, is in these sculptures a bit. And then at the very sort of elemental environmentalist level, I would like people to see the sculptures and reflect on the species that we still have. And the hope is if we remember the past, we reflect on what we've lost, we may tend better, with better stewardship now, to the species that we're working to keep present in our landscape.